Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Welcome to today's mind-body connection. Thanks for coming. Lay out your mat, or if you don't have a mat, if you just have a towel to put down on the floor, put your towel down on the floor. If you have blocks or any sort of props you want to use, because we're going to combine a little bit of yin and yang today. Grab that. We've got about 5 minutes till we get started. I'm gonna bribe the bird with a bunch of nuts. And thanks for coming today, you guys. If you're here early, feel free to just lay down on your mat. Just start to come into your breath, and I will be with you in 4 amazing minutes. 4 amazing minutes. Good. I'm just going to hang out on the butt. One minute, everybody. 1 minute till we get started. We're going to start in a seated position, but you're welcome to lay down. You're welcome to lay down. Thank you guys for coming. Friday. Friday. Yeah. What a difference. Yay, everybody. Thanks for coming. If you're laying down, just find a comfortable seated position of your choice. Let's start to just take a moment connecting with our breath and our body. If sitting cross-legged like this isn't super comfortable for you, remember you can always sit on top of a block or a pillow, just encouraging your knees to start to hang a little heavier towards the floor. especially if you find sitting down makes your knees lift all the way up towards your chest. Uh-oh, we got a needy buddy today. All right. If it's more comfortable for you, think about coming into a alternate cross-legged position with one foot in front of the other, or as you saw, I really enjoy sitting. Uncle Buck, please back off in half lotus. All right, so today we're just going to be as gentle with our bodies as possible. If your kids or your pets are all up in your business right now, you know, feel free to use one hand just to relax them. Start to come into your breath. Feel free to close your eyes. I'm going to close my eyes too and just start to notice your body as you come into your breath. Notice what you're doing. Where are you putting your weight? If you notice that you're really hinging forward a lot, or if you're hinging back very much, just work to ground those sit bones back into the floor. You can even place your hands on each of your knees to help you to just keep that chest gently on top of your hips. You're going to go ahead and tuck your chin down towards your chest. Still coming into your breath. Bring that awareness inside of yourself. Breathing in through your nose. Bringing your mental space to this mat, to your towel, to the floor. Thanking yourself for being so awesome to take this you time. Feel free to smile. Slowing down your exhales. Just a little longer than your inhales. Press into your sit bones. Let's start with a little rolling of your spine. So gently rolling your chin up away from your chest. On your next inhale, draw your shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And as you exhale, pull those shoulder blades together, elbows draw behind you, weighing those elbows down. Inhale, shoulders come up towards your ears, pull up. Exhale, down and back. One more time. Inhaling forward and up. Exhaling back. Very nice. Now allow your elbows to hang heavy down, shoulders pulled away from your ears. Go ahead, bring your hands palms to the center of your chest. Even allow your elbows to still hang down a little bit heavy here. Really pressing those hands, palms together, taking a moment in Namaskar. And now let's take some Lotus Hands. So keeping your thumb and your pinky finger together, press the base of your hands, palms together. Elbows will probably stretch a little bit more down towards the floor. Draw your belly button back towards your spine. Just making a nice little bowl of your hands like a lotus flower. Back to your breath. Noticing where your thoughts are going. Bringing it back to your breath, bringing that smile back to your face. Oh, that was sweet. Maybe your arms are starting to get a little bit tired. Maybe your shoulders are tired. It's normal. Just hang in there for a couple more breaths. Long and slow, lifting the front of the body, grounding through your sit bones. Maybe a little ujjayi breathing is starting, a slight constriction on the back of your throat. Great. Go ahead, bring your thumbs up towards your third eye. Start to stretch your elbows forward towards the front of the room. You can go ahead, bring your hands, palms together, get rid of your lotus flower. And to get an extra stretch of your back, begin to tuck your chin towards your chest as you continue to stretch those elbows forward. Still grounding your sit bone into the floor, still pulling that belly in nice and tight. Every exhale, really stretching those elbows forward. Long, slow, deep breaths. This is your yoga right here, right now. So keep repeating whatever intention you've set for yourself, honoring your day, honoring the warmth, the energy that you're creating. 2 more big breaths right here. Then go ahead, inhale, elbows up towards the ceiling. Open your elbows out, tracing your eyebrows with your thumbs. As you get to the end, open those arms wide out to the side and rain both hands down towards the floor by your hips. You're going to keep your right hand down on the mat. Take a deep inhale. Send your left arm up towards the ceiling. You're just going to reach through those left hand fingertips. And then exhale. Draw your left elbow towards your hip, down and back. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, draw it back. One more time. Inhale, reach up and over. Exhale, rain your left hand fingertips down on the floor, right by your right knee. Take a moment in this little twist that you've created. Still keeping that left sit bone down on the mat. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Walk your fingers out far away from you, and then drag them on the floor like they're going through sand, all the way over to the left side of your mat. Plant your left hand down next to you. Inhale your right arm up and over. Reach through those fingertips and exhale as you lift yourself up. Bend that right elbow back towards your hip. Inhale, left hand palm into the floor, reaching up. Exhale, pull it down. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, rain your right hand fingertips down by your left knee. Just taking a moment in this twist, starting to apply some pressure into the floor, really focusing on pulling your abdomen back in, belly button back towards your spine. Sit that right sit bone back down on the mat. Create a deeper stretch on your back. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, bring those fingers through your sand right in front of you. Walk your fingertips as far forward as feels good for you today for just a nice seated forward fold. Feel free to allow your chin, oh my gosh, to tuck towards your chest. Your biceps come closer towards your ears, just as low down as you can go, while still feeling those sit bones on the floor. And on your exhale, open your hands a little bit wider. Press your hands palms into the floor, and we're just gonna press through one hand and then the other so that one shoulder draws forward, one shoulder draws back, just starting to get a nice stretch happening down the sides of our back. Feel free to keep that head hanging heavy. Just pressing from one side to the other as you press into one hand palm. Really ground that opposite sit bone down into your mat. Back to your breath, only pressing so much where you can still enjoy those long, slow, deep, full inhales and exhales. Awesome. Walk your hands in a little bit closer, right in front of your knees. We're gonna cat-cow right here with our hands on the floor. So tucking your chin down towards your chest, press your hand palm into the floor, press your fingers into the floor. Really find that rounding of your upper shoulders here in cat. And then change your breath as you pull your chest closer towards your knees. Chin comes away from your chest, cow. Change your breath, cat. Ooh, change your breath, cow. 3 more, cat. Maybe pressing a little bit more into your sit bones, finding that rounding in your lower back, not just that upper back. Just finding what feels good for you today, and remember, every day is different. Really working to slow down each breath. Inhales fuller, exhales longer. Last one. Lift your chest up as you come out of cow. Walk your hands close towards your hips. And if you haven't already gone for a nice wide leg position as your choice of a seated position, open your legs out nice and wide as feels good for you today. Get your heels down on the mat. Feel your calves start to touch on the mat. You might need to place your hands on the floor by the center line of your body and reposition yourself. Flex those toes back towards your face. Let's take a stretch here again with these nice wide legs, starting to feel it more on those inner thighs. Plant your right hand down by your hip, maybe by your inner thigh, outer thigh, oh my gosh, and lift that left arm up and over. Taking a generous bend of your right elbow. Make sure that the left side of your body stays down on the mat. And let's go ahead, turn our chin towards your left shoulder, looking up towards the ceiling right now. Couple big breaths right here. Inhale, opening up the chest, squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale, stretching through your fingers. One more big breath. And on your exhale, lift yourself up. Plant your left hand down on the floor. Inhale your right arm up and over. Start to take that generous bend as much as feels good for you, and your left elbow. Still keeping that right side of your body in contact with the mat. Can you still flex your toes back towards your face? Pull your belly in. Notice if you really rounded your chest right here. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Open your chest and turn your chin towards that right shoulder. Inhale, opening chest. Exhale, stretching and reaching. 2 more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. 1 more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, reach. And inhale, lift yourself back up. Ooh, yes. Just pull those shoulders away from your ears. Walk your fingertips closer towards the back of your hips. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Open your chest, stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Bring your chin back towards your chest. Bring your hands in front of you. We're going to walk ourselves forward and hang out for a couple breaths, our longest posture just yet, in a nice little dragonfly posture. If you can't get your forearms all the way down towards the floor like I could, feel free to use a prop. Place your arms on something. Feel free to keep your arms straight if that's what feels good for you. You can either bring that rounding towards your back or coming down with more of a straight spine. Whatever feels most relaxed. We're really focusing on the stretch that you're creating along the back of your legs right now. So feel free to even soften through the toes. Maybe your toes point away from you as opposed to flexing them back towards your face. Slow down your breath and find your stillness. Complete stillness for the next 5 breaths right here. You're worth it. Find it right now. Where can you hang out? Last big breath. Great. On your next exhale, straighten your arms. If they weren't already straight, begin to walk your hands back to the center line of your body. Move your props out of the way. Have some fun right here. Bob those knees and bring your legs in front of you. Great. Reposition your sit bones as you need to. We're going to take a moment right here in staff pose. So legs together. If you can bring your heels, toes to touch, great. Maybe as close as you can get them. Press your pads of your fingers. Maybe you can get your palms to the floor. And I want you to really ground your sit bones. Pull that belly in. Stacking your shoulders on top of your hips. Then open your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Chin should be neutral to your chest. This might be super uncomfortable if your legs are really tight, so feel free to sit up on a block, to sit up on a pillow. If you're a little bit lifted here in these straight leg postures, especially if the back of your legs are really straight, this can feel a lot more comfortable. If you don't have any sort of prop to use with, don't worry, just gently take a bend to your knees, press your heels to the floor. Maybe your belly gently touches on your thighs, that's okay. Pull it in as much as you can. Just find some engagement of that abdominal core. Make sure your chin's not stretched all the way up towards the ceiling, keeping it neutral to your chest. 3 more breaths right here. And then we're going to come from staff pose into caterpillar. So you might need to keep this bend of your knees. If you don't, that's okay. Start to walk your hands forward as much as you can. Next, this is another big yin posture. So we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. Feel free to place your hands on your thighs and rest your face on your delightfully clean hands. Or if you have a bunch of pillows or you have some props, you can always place your head on a prop. Once again, we're focusing on that stretch that's being created on the back of your legs, number 1. And you also might feel it a lot on your lower back here. If you're really slowing your breaths down, it's about 10 super slow breaths for 2 minutes. If you find that your mind is wandering towards other things that you need to do today, focusing on your breath, even counting your breath, even if you have to count the number of seconds in your inhale and working to count to elongate the number of seconds on your exhale, can be a great way to stay focused. And if that's too much for you, if you can completely clear your mind, awesome. Whatever it takes. Last 2 breaths. Maybe take a wiggle of your toes as you gently begin to lift yourself back up. Move that prop out of the way. Go ahead, draw your knees up towards your chest. Fingers can come behind your hips. Windshield wipe those knees right and left, right and left. Then we're going to bring the soles of those feet together for some reclined bound angle. Upright bound angle, also known as butterfly. Feel free to bring those heels as close towards the center line of your chest as feels good for you. Go ahead, take your fingers and interlace them right by those pinky toes. Making a nice bowl with your feet. Ground those sit bones back into the floor. Lift your chest, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And just take a moment focusing on stretching those knees down towards the floor. Option to come a little bit deeper, maybe bringing your elbows in towards your calves or maybe towards the knees or your thighs to help press yourself down. You can even suck your stomach in. Do your best to bring your head into this beautiful bowl you've created with your feet. The best you can do is try, so see what you can do with your body today. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. And and change. Slowly, gently lift yourself up. Nice work, everyone. Go ahead, kick that right leg out. We're going to take a moment and a half, Dragonfly. Folding your left leg in towards the center line of your body. Let's start to take some twists for today. Relax and release your right sit bone back down towards the mat. Open your chest once more as you draw your left hand fingertips by the base of your spine. Press the pads of your fingers or whatever you can get down towards the floor, and take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Really press into the outside of that left knee to help you ground your sit bone, suck your stomach in, lift through the crown of your head, open your chest. And once your upper body is engaged, turn your chin towards that left shoulder. Are you still flexing your right toes towards your face? If not, flex those toes if you can. Stretch through that left elbow. Use your exhale to twist over your right shoulder, pressing the pads of your fingers into your left thigh. One more deep inhale. Lift up through the crown of your head, stomach sucked in. Exhale, twist. And on your exhale, slowly, gently come back forward. Awesome. Let's go for deer pose real fast. Bring that right leg back behind you, bringing your heel as close towards your glute as feels comfortable for you today. If you find yourself really lifted and your right butt cheek is far away from the floor, bring that right leg out a little bit. Just work as best as you can. I know it's a real big stretch right here, using your exhales to relax that right leg a little closer towards the mat. You can bring your hands on your knees. You can bring your hands by your hips to help support yourself as you exhale into this big twist. Shoulders pull away from your ears. Open your chest. Pull your belly in once more. And change. You're going to walk your left hand fingertips away from you as you straighten your right leg. Now draw your right leg forward as if it's coming through the sand as far over to the left side of your mat as possible. So your right leg is crossed over your left leg. Keep your left leg where it is as you sit yourself down. You're going to find your knees somewhat stacked on top of each other. You can take your left hand and grab hold of your right ankle as we come into cow face. Yay! You might even need to bring your hands onto the mat by your hips and lift yourself up, reposition yourself, just doing the best that you can with some sort of a cross-legged posture. And just depending on how tight you are, maybe you look something more like this, or maybe your foot is over here, and you're just using your exhales once again to help you sit yourself down a little bit more. Find something you can hang out in. Round whatever sit bone or bones you're working towards the floor. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. And you can keep holding on to your feet if you need to. If you want to start to open up your shoulders and your chest, whichever leg you have on top. You're going to inhale that arm up towards the ceiling and bend at the elbow. You're going to reach your opposite hand behind you and start to walk those fingertips up your spine. And maybe you can touch your fingertips together. Maybe you can even grab hold of your opposite hand. Just do the best that you can today. If you want an even deeper stretch right here, exhale as you hinge forward. Still really working to get that right sit bone down on the floor on your mat. Chin tucks towards the chest. Really work to square your body on top of your hips. Last 2 breaths right here. Inhale as you lift yourself up. Release your arms from cow face. Place them on the mat. We're just going to draw our right shin on top of the left as we come into fire logs. So make sure that your right ankle is still hanging over the left side of your thigh. And while it's there, you're just going to relax and release your right knee down, so that your knees are stacked on top of your ankles stacked on top of your knees. And again, if you're super tight, this might look more like you sort of just sitting on one leg and with one knee pointing all the way up towards the floor, but you're just going to use your breath to exhale. And feel free to use your pillow or your blocks or whatever you have here to support yourself once again in fire logs, also known as double pigeon. You can have your hands right here by your hips, suck that stomach in once more, and stay lifted if you would like. However, if you're feeling really good, especially if your two shins are super stacked, you can even hinge forward to feel more of a stretch in those hips. Feel free to come down with that passive back, chin tucked towards the chest, or that active back, shoulders pulled away from your ears, whatever feels good for you today. Everyone's body is different. Every day is different. How did you sleep? What did you eat? What's on your mind? Hopefully, nothing's on your mind right now except your breath and your movement. But you know what I mean. Nice. Go ahead, walk your hands back towards the center line. Bring your hands by your hips, uncross your legs. Send those knees up towards the ceiling and just windshield wipe your feet right and left, right and left. Oh, it feels so good. All right, let's do those same things on the other side. So this time kicking your left leg out, half dragonfly, fold that right leg in. Just taking a moment right here in half dragonfly, just setting yourself up. Your heel can be as close to the center line of your body as feels good. Maybe it feels better to have your leg a little closer towards your left knee. Maybe you want it all the way out towards the side. That's why you can have your eyes closed the whole time. Awesome. So sit bones grounded into the floor. Take a moment beginning to flex your left toes back towards your face. Find your lifted length and bring your right hand fingertips close by the base of your spine as you press your right hand fingertips into the floor, working to open your chest and squeeze your shoulder blades together already. You're going to reach your left hand fingertips towards your right knee. Really work to keep that left sit bone on the mat as much as you can. Press into your fingers, pull your belly tight, open your shoulders, open your chest. And once you're lifted through the crown of your head and you have that length and engagement, use your exhale to turn your chin once more to your right shoulder. Every inhale, sucking your stomach in, pressing fingers into the floor, enjoying that bend of the elbows to come deeper into the twist, and every exhale, twisting. One more inhale, lengthen, engage. Stay engaged as you exhale and twist. Deep inhale here at the end. And exhale, slowly take your time to come back towards the center. Nice. Here comes that deer pose. So shifting the weight into your right glute as you fold your left leg in as much as feels comfortable for you today. You can keep those hands back by your hips. You can keep that left foot a little further away from you with the inner sole down towards the floor. Maybe having your hands on your knees. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Pull your belly in tight again right here. Exhaling to bring that left glute closer to your mat. One more breath right here. Great, bring your fingertips over by your right thigh, extend that left leg out, really point through your toe. Feels so good as you draw that through the sand all the way over to the right side of your mat, as far as you can go. Maybe wiggling those toes in, sitting down, getting your butt cheeks back down to the mat. Remember, you can pull your right heel in, and you can also bring your hands by your hips to reposition yourself, wiggling your feet in, whatever you need to do. You want to get those sit bones down on the floor as much as you can, and you want to get as great of a cross as you can for today, but you can always do this tomorrow. So just reining it in, and once you're there, start to relax, shoulders away from your ears, restacking ears on shoulders on hips. You can stay holding on to your ankles if you need to, whichever leg is crossed. This time it's probably your left leg. Inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling, bend at your left elbow and start to walk those fingertips down your spine. Keep that left sit bone down on the mat as you walk your right hand fingertips up behind you to meet with your left. Can you get the same distance on both sides. If not, and that's something that's important to you, reach out. Yes, some people are hypermobile, but flexibility is totally learned. There's so many different exercises that you can do, stretches that you can start to incorporate to really help you increase that flexibility. And remember, next Wednesday for Yin, we're going to focus on really opening the chest and shoulders. So find a strap or something you can use again. You could always be coming a little bit deeper right here also to feel the stretch. Just a couple more breaths. You're worth it. Hang in there. Find that length, stretching your elbows in opposite directions, keeping that chest open, back active, belly tight. Lift yourself up on your next inhale. Release your hands down. Oh, big stretch. All right, and we're coming into fire log, so you're going to keep some space as you draw your left shin back out over your right. Maybe walking those right legs forward a little bit to be in line with the top of the mat, and use your exhale to relax your left knee down on top of your right ankle. Once again, you might need to shift your weight a little bit, finding both of those sit bones down on the floor. Feel free to keep your hands right here back by your hips. If this is like super uncomfortable for you, just doing the best you can. Remember, you can use a block or a prop or something to help you just kind of relax a little bit right here with your leg. If it's easy for you to get into this fire log double pigeon, bring your hands in front of you and just start to walk your hands forward. Really just focusing on exhaling, keeping that left glute, whichever leg is on top, coming down towards the mat. You're doing awesome. Keep it up. Relaxing shoulders away from your ears. On your next exhale, walk your hands back towards the center. Take a moment this time, kick your legs out in front of you. Bob your knees, windshield wipe your feet. So good. Let's come onto all fours. A little bit of cat-cow. Let's get a little bit of cat-cow going right here. So spread those fingers nice and wide like starfish. And press that fleshy pad of your fingers between your thumb and your pointer finger on the mat. Hands, palms right underneath of your shoulders and hips on top of your elbows. And coming into cat, tucking your chin towards your chest, looking towards your knee, your belly button. Maybe looking towards your chin. And as you changing your breath, come into the opposite posture really. Find as much length as you can. Stretch through your hips, shoulders away from your ears, arching your back. You know, I like to encourage you to take whatever shimmy shakes and shapes you need to create in cat-cow. Experiment with shaking your hips while you're in cat. Experiment with shaking those shoulders too. Oh, just finding what feels good for you today. If you do it in one direction, give yourself an opportunity to do it in the other direction as well. Meow. Moo. Last couple times going through. Awesome. We'll take one last stretch of those hips and then a little shoulder work. Send your hips back towards your heels. For child's pose, and here's where the shoulder work starts to come in as you walk your fingertips forward as much as feels comfortable for you today. You can relax your head down on the mat, or just allowing your head to hang heavy down in the direction towards the mat. The more that you walk your fingertips forward, the more you're going to feel that deep stretch starting to build up in your shoulders. And if that stretch feels too much for you, feel free to take a generous bend of your elbows right here. And if it still feels too much for you, feel free to bring your hands all the way back by your heels with your palms, facing up towards the ceiling.
Using your breath right now. If your fingers are all the way stretched out in front of you, inhaling, stretching through your fingers, pressing your hands, palms into the floor, and exhaling, really relaxing your hips closer towards your heels. Last 2 breaths right here. Getting that stretch in your chest next. Start to walk your fingertips forward, coming into melted heart pose. So keep your hips on top of your knees as much as you can and melt that chest down towards the mat. You can keep your chin tucked towards your chest to be a little bit kinder on your lower back. If you stretch your chin away from your chest, you'll feel more of the stretch in your upper back as well. Really using those breaths, those exhales to melt your heart down towards the floor. Puppy pose, you'll feel a big stretch in your shoulders the more that they're extended in front of you. 2 more breaths right here. And on your next exhale, pull yourself forward, coming into Sphinx Pose. Melt that pubic mound back down towards the mat. Get your elbows right underneath of your shoulders. Press your elbows into the floor. Stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Another big stretch happening in the small of your back. You can even shake your hips a little right and left. Relax in this stretch. My feet are nice and wide, about match width distance apart, and pressing the tops of my feet down into the floor. All right, come into your stillness right here. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then just rotate your chin from one shoulder, using your breath to move to the opposite. Take the full breath to come from one shoulder to another. Start to take that tension out of your glutes right here. Awesome. Bring your chin back towards your chest. Inhale to look up at the wall in front of you. You can stay right here. Option to come into seal. So pressing your hands, palms into the floor. Go ahead, straighten your arms. Really work to push that belly button back down towards the mat. As you stretch your eyes, nose, chin up towards the ceiling. Make sure you're not wearing your shoulders as earrings. So really press into your hands. Inhale, lift from your chin, lift your chest. And then go ahead, bend your knees, bring your big toes together. Keeping that pubic mound, that belly button down on the mat. Look back, you're gonna touch your head to your toes. And then be silly, make a seal noise. My friends dared me to do that. All right, exhale, go ahead, lower yourself all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands, place your head on the pillow, bend your knees, and just windshield wipe your legs, right and left, in opposite directions. Yay, we're gonna take a big old spine twist on our bellies right here, get into our upper backs as well. So stretch your arms out to the sides in a T. Go ahead, bend your left leg, sole of the left foot faces up towards the ceiling. You're gonna push into your left hand palm and roll onto your right side gently as you bring your left foot all the way over the right side of your body. Just find a place to touch that left toe down. And then you can relax or be as engaged in this as you want to. Maybe you wanna bend and fold your legs together. Be a little more passive, or maybe you really want to send that left knee up towards the ceiling, working to bring the left sole of your foot towards the floor. Start to walk your left hand fingertips away from you and bring your left shoulder back down towards the mat as much as possible. The more that you walk your left toes up towards the right hand, the more you're going to really start to feel this stretch in your obliques, in your mid and your upper back. Find something you can hold, and we're going to stay here for 4 slow breaths. And on your next exhale, release. Nice work, you guys. Gently roll over. Extend that left leg out in front of you. Extend your left arm. Bend your right leg so the right foot faces into the ceiling. Press into your right hand palm. As you bring your right leg up and over, place those toes down on the floor somewhere. It can be all the way down by your ankle. It can be as close up towards your left hand as feels good for you. You can close your legs if that's a comfortable twist. You can open them wider to feel more of a stretch in that upper back though. Start to walk your right hand fingertips away from you as much as you can. Right shoulder coming closer towards the mat to increase the stretch in the obliques, coming back into that right shoulder as well. Nice total body stretch. Twists are so good for just squeezing all that junk and stress out of our body. Ready for that stillness. 3 more breaths from right here. On your exhale, roll back over. We're going to take a Savasana on our bellies with a nice stretch of our necks. So go ahead and relax your arms down by your side. Palms face up towards the ceiling. Bring your big toes together. Allow your heels to fall out and bring your left ear to the mat. Find one spot on the mat to just focus your eyes, relax your mind. This time you can start to allow your shoulders to round forward. Maybe the tips of your shoulders even come onto the mat. Just relax and release right here. Using those big deep breaths, feeling the back of your rib cage expand on your inhale. As you sink into the floor on your exhale. On your next big inhale, lift your head up and place your opposite ear on the mat. Relax, release in your exhale, shoulders coming closer towards the mat. Feeling the rib cage expand more on every inhale. Supported by your mat, just relaxing every exhale. Great, take a wiggle of your fingers and your toes. Bring your hands in line with your chest.
Feel free to press yourself up any way you want, maybe into a nice little moment of plank. Draw one knee up and then the other. Just come into the seated position of your choice as we finish class together. Take a moment, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest with your thumbs touching on your sternum. Feel free to close your eyes, tuck your chin as you honor yourself for creating this time and space for your mental and physical health. You can't pour from an empty cup, so filling your own cup so that you can share with others. Thank you guys so much for coming, for sharing your energy with me, for creating energy to share with everyone else. I can't wait to see you guys all again next week. If you have any questions or concerns or anything that's feeling achy and breaky, let me know. Namaste. Have a great day.